Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a video about my machine, which is made by a company called Resonant Light in Canada, and is a plasma frequency generator. Hey, what's up guys? So this video is about my Resonant Light machine that I've got, which consists of two parts. Firstly, this part, although I should say this secondly really. This is a plasma frequency emission device basically that takes frequencies and emits them through the plasma bulb. There's two parts to the machine. Okay, as I said, there's this part which actually generates the frequencies and does all the number crunching, and then there's this part which takes the frequencies from that device, the Progen, and emits them into the environment. Really we should concentrate on this bit first, because it's important to know that this can be used on its own without this. Okay, how you do that is you have these cables coming out from each side, which I label left and right, because if I'm using them with the pads, which is here, I'll commonly do it on my stomach. Okay, so we've got these, you get these cables with the Progen, they're 6 feet long approximately, and then you connect each of the electrodes to these TENS pads, which I get off Amazon. They're about, I got a large pack of 40. I find it's best to buy it like that for like a tenner, so I thought that was pretty good. So the first way you use this is you use it just with the pads. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say you're using this on its own. It's plugged into the mains via a 12 volt power supply that you get with it, and you're simply going to attach these to your body. Now, before we continue, I just want to say that the cost of this item on its own is approximately $2,000, and the cost of the pair together is approximately $7,000. Okay, so obviously I find myself using the light for certain things and this for certain things. I've actually put a label on the side with the most common things that I use it for. So those numbers relate to the frequency set which you enter into this machine. So let me get the manual a second. I'm just going to actually show you quickly the pages of the manual. I won't dwell on it too long, but just show you what you're getting. I guess that's all self-evident really. It doesn't talk about these conditions in depth, but it gives you guidelines to what you should be what they think you should be doing. So that's the important thing. So that's the quick look at the manual. It's very in-depth. So one thing is these are the frequency sets that come with the machine. RLTI, Resonant Light something frequency sets. So this is obviously quite a big list. Sorry, let me go back a bit as I flick through the manual. This isn't in alphabetical order, this is in set number order. Okay, that will all become clear in a minute as you watch on. So yeah, lots of different things in there, then towards the back you have, we'll be there in a momento. Right, you have these CAFL frequency sets. The Consolidated Annotated Frequency List is a publicly available list of frequencies provided by Brian McInturf and on electroherbalism.com. So the machine has all these built in, and so I'd say there's approximately, just say 25 a page. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, 30, 31, 32, I think I've popped up there, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. 48 pages of those frequencies, okay? And then in the last part of the manual, this is what they refer to as an index of conditions. Okay, so this is very handy. And there's pages and pages of these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24. I don't know what I'm counting, it's got the page numbers there. 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 35. I'll just go back to one that I use quite a lot, and that is, I just saw it. Hang on. These, tooth infection. Okay, because I've had a lot of problems with my teeth in the past, and although this might not work on its own very well for tooth infection because you don't want to be placing the pads on your mouth, although I have done that, this would definitely be good for that, because the frequency will just come out, especially if you lay down next to it. I believe 100% that it has helped me minimise the amount of tooth problems that I've had recently. Oh, look at that one, toe fungus. Let's close in on that for a second. Yeah, toe fungus. But yeah, so what I'm quickly going to show you in this part of the video is Toxoplasmosis, because I had someone message me about that and I just wanted to show them it. So what that indicates to us is that set 363 and set 446 need to be entered in to the machine. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll just zoom in a second. So let me get the camera sorted out. So Toxoplasmosis 363. So we would hit 1, run mode. 363, enter. Run additional set, yes. Now we want set 446, enter. Run additional set. So you can either yes, program in another set, no, set the machine to run, 3, very handy, you can loop. So if you wanted to lay in bed all night with the machine on via the electrodes, right, and they don't recommend that, okay, the manufacturer does not recommend that you lie in bed tied up to this machine, but I do it all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch to time-lapse mode, then I'm going to set it to show you how the frequency works, okay, and what the screen means, and I'll sort of break that down. I might put some text in the video, I might do an audio. So I'm just going to switch to time-lapse mode, and then we're going to see this running two frequency sets, okay, and bear in mind that because I haven't got it connected to this, okay, I'm just going to be using the pads. I'm not going to be wearing it for the process of the demonstration, but I just wanted to show you clearly how they plug in. Also worth bearing in mind that you have almost like a volume power knob on each side, which is absolutely epic, because sometimes when you're using the machine, when I've used it, certainly for some of the nastier ones like Lyme disease, some of the frequencies are pretty hard to tolerate. So it's a lot better to turn the power down to a tolerable level, to enable you to actually continue to run the set rather than thinking, oh, I don't like that, I'm going to stop. So I've got them labelled up left and right. This is so that when I'm lying in bed half asleep, I actually know which one's which. It might seem like a bit of a waste of time, but trust me, it's good to know that with some of the stomach ones as well, some of the frequencies are quite uncomfortable. So if I'm feeling it more on my left hand side, you can up the right one, and you kind of feel them both level out. And then if you turn the right one down, you might feel it to be too strong coming from the left one. This is what you're paying the money for, okay, that kind of thing, because you can completely, if you've got 2 pads on your left and 2 pads on your right, you can adjust them so they're perfectly in sync with each other. Now that doesn't mean that each one will be lined up the same, okay, it doesn't mean that. It's how your body's reacting to it. So what I like to do is when I start a frequency set, I'll turn them both to 0. I'll start the set, then I'll try and turn them both to maximum. Okay, it's my belief that if the maximum power can be put out to your body, that's what you really want. But as I said, if you're feeling it more on one side than the other, you can literally balance it out, and then you feel the whole kind of wave over your body, over the area, which is normally my stomach, rather than more on one side than the other. So right, I'm going to finally switch to time lapse, then I'm going to run those 2 sets and we'll take it from there. Sorry, I forgot to mention something else. When you click on no, so you're telling it to not add another set, then you have these options here, which is extremely handy. You can the time scale you want to run it at. So let's just say you had a set that was 6 hours long and you wanted to complete it in 3. As an example, you would hit number 3, and that will run 50% less time. It still works in the same way, but it's running for 50% less time. So what I'm going to do for the purpose of the video, because it's going to be time lapse, I'm just going to hit it at 1, and then so once I hit that, the 1 for the time scale, the machine will start. Okay, so I'm going into time lapse now. So I'm briefly going to explain what you're seeing here. You're seeing the machine running these 2 things called frequency sets, and first it's running frequency set 363 as indicated in the top left hand corner. Then it gives you the name of the set, which happens to be Toxoplasmosis. The L number is the levels contained within the set that run a particular frequency for a certain amount of time, basically. So you can see at the moment it's running the frequency around 19,663.8. Sorry, the time in the middle is the time left of the complete set, and the time further over to the right where it says 00 whatever is how long the frequency itself has got to run. Where it says SQR 70%, that indicates that it's using a square wave with a 70% duty cycle. I'm not 100% sure what the P means on the right, but I'll come back to that. In the bottom left, you'll see something which basically is spread contract. So what it's going to do, it's going to go up and down around these frequencies. It goes out, which is the spread, and then it contracts, which it comes in. The P on 4 Hertz basically means that the frequency that's running at the moment, 726.5, is being pulsed 4 times a second. Right now you can see it's just switched onto the second set, which is number 446, CF Toxol cat virus. You can see this is a longer set, indicated by the time in the middle, 1 hour 15 minutes. Again, the frequency it's running around 850, 70% square wave again. It seems to be that square waves are used primarily for destroying stuff, and sine waves would be used predominantly for sort of relaxation and healing. The reason they all use a pulse, from what I can gather, is that it's to avoid too much heating of the cell. If there's energy created with the resonance of the frequency, which is the whole idea, then theoretically the cells could get too hot, so the pulsing just keeps going and going and going. Now, Yeah, so it's running the spread contract again. So what it's doing, it's always going up and down around what is called the base frequency. Because this is sped up quite a lot, it's difficult to see. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to slow it down for a second. Right, I've slowed it down a little bit so that I can show you what I mean by the base frequency. So the base frequencies just changed to 730.5 hertz. Okay, so this, I'll just wait till the next one. Actually, no, I won't. So the spread contract means it's using the 724.5 or 729.5 as the base frequency, and it's moving up and down around that. The base frequency now is 725.5 hertz. Now I've put the speed back up to the time-lapse speed, which was basically compressed 1 hour 55 minutes into approximately 8 minutes. So if you want to watch the rest of the set, carry on. I will leave it up there for somebody who might be particularly interested in it that I spoke to on email. So I hope you liked the video. And remember, if you do contact Resonant Light about one of their machines, I do not sell their machines, I do not work for them, but please, if you do contact them about one of their machines, please mention my name, Gavin Whittington, and that means I may get a bit of a referral fee, and they can put that towards other stuff that I can buy and then show you the videos of you perhaps using those items. Again, I'll say sorry for the adverts in the video, but this I'm putting out, you know, it might not be the highest quality content and editing, but it is very rare information, and I'm certain there are people out there who want to know that. So I'm sorry, it is a bit of a bind watching the adverts and clicking forward through them, but bear with me. If Resonant Light was to send me some free stuff, then maybe I'll take the adverts out of the video. So right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.